Welcome back to the light. This is part 5 in the series of the readout of the official probable cause court documents in the Rebecca Park case. So let's get straight back into where we left off. Bradley did say that he spoke with Kimberly on Saturday, November 1st, 2025, after their dinner that night had ended. He said she was asking about the 2 tracks behind the house. He denied that Kimberly told him that she needed to get Rebecca out of the picture. He identified that Kimberly had said this to Rich Fisher, who he identified as Courtney's cousin. Detective Sergeant Hackman confronted that this is not what Rich Fisher told him when he interviewed him personally. Bradley reported that Kimberly is jealous of Rebecca and that he is aware that Kimberly has had a relationship with Rich in the past. Bradley reported being upset when Kimberly was on the internet saying that he and Courtney were responsible, making a statement that he doesn't understand how anyone could do that to a pregnant woman. He answered that he believes that Courtney and Rich would be capable of doing something such as this. When asked for what purpose, he gave different possibilities. Bradley agreed that he believes that Courtney is capable of slicing open her own flesh and blood and taking a baby out, and agreed that Courtney is obsessed with wanting another baby in her care and custody. He also agreed that it was a good possibility she could attack Rebecca and cut a baby out of her. Detective Lieutenant Pisker asked if he remembered the Sunday that Rebecca was in the hospital, Courtney saying or texting, quote, "Don't you dare have this baby in the hospital," end quote. And Bradley remembers somebody saying it, but not sure who was saying it. Bradley confirmed going to Fowler's house on Saturday to take the gifts to Rebecca that Courtney forgot to give her at the house earlier that day. While discussing being upset that Kimberly had accused him of being involved, Detective Lieutenant Pisker asked why he hadn't called him, and Bradley said that Courtney had threatened him that she didn't want him involved. His explanation was that she doesn't want to get incriminated or himself incriminated. Bradley began to say that he thinks Courtney has more to do with it than what she wants to claim. He said all the evidence is pointing to her. He suggests that he believes all the evidence would be in the white Ford. The blood he observed inside the truck is discussed and described. Bradley said that he removed the original seat covering about a week and a half after Rebecca went missing because it had gotten white paint on it. When asked what he thought happened, Bradley responded that he thought Courtney was jealous of Rebecca. He agrees that Courtney would like to have another child. He also thinks that Rich would like to get back into a relationship with Courtney. Bradley agrees that he thinks that Courtney could point the finger at him as being responsible when we interview her. When Bradley is confronted with Courtney being in possession of the cellular device with the 913 number when she went to pick up Rebecca, he claims he can't say she possessed it, but it was there at the house and he had it to call her. He then confirms that Courtney did not have that phone when she went to Fowler's to pick up Rebecca. He reported she got that phone when she came back from getting the white. Detective Lieutenant Pisker asked Bradley what else he wanted us to know about, and he told us that Courtney has scalpels in her bedside stand, describing them as disposable scalpels for lancing cellulitis. Bradley doesn't remember going anywhere on the morning of Tuesday, November 4th, 2025, other than to Fowler's to give him Rebecca's phone. Bradley confirmed that he had come to the hospital on Sunday, November 2nd, 2025, to bring Courtney her wheelchair and that he was driving the white Ford pickup truck while Courtney was there with the Ford Escape. He did not ride back to Manton with Courtney when she drove Rebecca and Richard home. Bradley begins to show some emotion about the possible outcome of this investigation. Bradley is given a break at this point in the interview. On Sunday, November 30th, 2025, at 17:14, Detective Lieutenant Pisker and Detective Sergeant Voss conducted a recorded interview with Courtney Bartholomew. Courtney was read her Miranda rights from a Wexford County Miranda warning card. She confirmed her understanding of the rights explained to her, and she agreed to speak with detectives at the time. Courtney identified that at the dinner at her house on Saturday, November 1st, 2025, it was herself, Rebecca, Kimberly, Bentley, and that Brad was hiding in the truck. Detective Lieutenant Pisker notified Courtney that this is a homicide investigation and the lies must stop, and if she lies, more charges can be brought. Courtney reported that Bradley is hiding in the truck because the girls won't come in if he is around because they don't like him. She reported that the dinner ended around 1900 to 1930. The next thing that happened was she called Rebecca about the items she forgot to give her and that she and Bradley went to Fowler's to drop the items off. At that time, they were in the Ford Escape. On Sunday, November 2nd, 2025, she was supposed to pick Rebecca up and waited around until about 18:30, and Rebecca called to say she was on the way to the hospital. She described the event at the hospital as she had previously. Bradley brought Courtney her wheelchair to the hospital. Bradley was driving the white Ford F-150, and she explained how he stopped at the Meyer gas station to get gas for the truck while she drove Rebecca and Richard home. Courtney wanted to know if Bradley could hear her, and she was told he could not. She reported talking to Rebecca Sunday night after getting milkshakes on Monday. She said that Rebecca asked her about the $2,000 and said that Rich was upset about something. Courtney confirmed the trip to Fowler's house on Saturday after the dinner to drop the items off to Rebecca. When Detective Lieutenant Pisker asked Courtney why she wanted to know if Bradley could hear her, she suggested the need to back up, saying she thinks she needs immunity. Detective Lieutenant Pisker notified Courtney that the prosecutor is the person who can give immunity. Courtney suggests we get the prosecutor here, and Detective Lieutenant Pisker says she will want to know what she has. Courtney said she will give us where the knife is and where the baby is, that she will give it all to us. When Detective Lieutenant Pisker confronts Courtney that she has guilty knowledge, she responded that she has been threatened, her child has been threatened, her home has been threatened, and she is done. Courtney renews her request for immunity and then asked for witness protection. Detective Sergeant Voss explains we can't offer her immunity. When Detective Lieutenant Pisker asks Courtney if the baby is alive, she shakes her head in the negative, signifying no. Detective Sergeant Voss asked Courtney about her prior statement that Bradley hides in the truck. He asked her where he hides, and she identified in the cab. She describes it as a single cab truck, and he lays on the seat. Courtney reported that Bradley had put $15 worth of gas in the truck when he was at Meyer on Sunday night. Courtney asked if Bradley confessed, and Detective Sergeant Voss reported he told us a lot of stuff. Courtney confirmed that Bradley is using the phone with the number 550, and her phone is the 429 phone. She confirms that she had the 429 phone on Saturday, Sunday, and the Monday that Rebecca disappeared. She said her phone was taken on Monday night, and she was told to go back in the house. Courtney said her phone was taken at about 20:30. She renewed her request to contact the prosecutor. Detective Sergeant Voss told her we need to know what she knows to take it to the prosecutor. When he suggests an example that she will even tell us where the baby is, she interrupts and says, quote, in the garbage in a blue cooler, end quote. When asked where, she reported, quote, in the GFL, end quote. Courtney says, quote, he said he put him in a black bag. The cooler's gone. The cooler is Brad's work cooler, adding, he put him inside the cooler and drove him up and down the road looking for a GFL. That wasn't mine. When Detective Sergeant Voss asked why, Courtney reported that it was related to Bradley going to jail last year when Fowler turned him in. She explained that this is all retaliation. She identified the night when they went home after their last interviews. She confronted him about his examination and his failure. This is going to end part 5, and I will see you over in part 6.